Well, we've got 6 different wines to go through, and the chef's prepared some nice morsels to go with it. We're going to start at the lighter end of the tasting spectrum here, and why don't we start with the Sauvignon Blanc?
Absolutely, yes.
Tell us about it.
Great. It's a 2010 Sauvignon Blanc, 100% Sauvignon Blanc. It's aged in stainless steel, so it didn't see any barrel influence. We did that specifically so the fruit characteristics would come out.
Okay.
Sauvignon Blanc is a delicate wine. If you add any barrel influence, it will really overcome it.
Yeah. And from time to time, I'll try to interject questions that I think people may be thinking at home. If we go too fast for people who are just learning about wine, we want it to be as educational as possible as we go through, and also not bore the really, nerdy wine lovers that we have. I consider myself to be sort of in the middle towards the new side, but stainless, putting the wine in a stainless aging process as opposed to a barrel aging process. Let's break that down, because that really is a big factor when it comes to white wine, how that is approached. Tell us about the difference between the two.
Okay, stainless steel basically doesn't add any influence to your wine. The way the grapes come in will remain sound in the tank. When you put it into a barrel, because of the natural porosity of the barrels, you're going to get some oxygen permeating through the wall of the barrel, and so it's going to change your wine a little bit. It could seem aged a little bit more. As a result, so usually reserve barrel aging for, say, a Chardonnay, a heavier wine. Right. So,
and there is a trend to put Chardonnay in stainless as well.
Absolutely,
some
the
people
unoaked now, yeah.
Some people are doing that. But to purposely influence it, oak is the way to go, because you're actually adding something to it.
Definitely.
So this is stainless. So associated with that, I usually think of crisp, cleaner types of flavors. What are we going to pick up with this wine here, like a typical Sauvignon Blanc?
Right. Well, Sauvignon Blanc, depending on what region it's grown, can be really different. Because we're considered a warm climate, we're going to get a lot more tropical aromas and fruitiness. We're going to get some white peach on there. We also get a little bit of minerality, but that really comes from our soil and from our vineyards.
Why doesn't everybody taste and throw some things out there? We've got this great wine in front of us. We might as well drink it.
Yeah, with the bruschetta al basilico, this one will be fantastic.
This is a little. You said bruschetto.
Bruschetta. Bruschetta is just like little Roma tomato, organic Roma tomato, little bit of basil, little bit of extra virgin oil, salt and pepper. So and the bread is just like a little bit of filone bread with grilled and crushed pepper on it.
There you go.
And I just smelling the Sauvignon Blanc and the basil will go fantastic with it.
It goes with it. Excellent. Excellent. And did you mentioned New Zealand when you studied? New Zealand is famous for Sauvignon Blanc, is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think when it first came out, it was so different and unique. They struggle to ripen there. They just have not as many degree days, meaning they don't have as many sunshine days, sunshine hours in a day even. So the grapes not being able to ripen, they just keep more of that herbaceousness or cut green grass sort of aromas.
Right.
So being so different, I think New Zealand's really made a market because it stands out.
Yeah.
And it's recognizable.
Simone, what do you get out of this one? What's your favorite part of this one here? Because I get green apples. This is all green apples to me right here. And I'm a big fan of green apples.
Green apple and a little bit of stone fruit like peaches, white peach.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that too. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is why when I smell it, I thought about basil, tomato, stuff like that.
Yeah, it goes in there fresh.
To go with it.
It really does go well with it.
If you have a bite and after you I like that. Pick up the garlic at the bottom.
Sorry for everyone watching, but
I
this
know.
is delicious. We can't share.
We're breaking Oprah Winfrey's rule, by the way, the eating on camera.
Oh dear.
We're being very anti-Oprah tonight, but that's okay. Yeah. But that's the point of the show. That's the point of the show. What I like about this, and I think you could speak to this about Italian cooking in general, the simpler the better.
I think
that doesn't mean it's
not
easy.
Too many ingredients, and like to bring out extra virgin olive oil. I really like the fruitiness of the olives, the pressing like that. The tomato, be nice and sweet. The aroma is like more firm than the regular 5x6, for lack of a better word, around tomato. And It's simple. Like even like after when we're gonna test other dishes, other wine, we're gonna incorporate the arrotine di prosciutto. There's a little bit of arugula, a little bit of radicchio, shaved Parmesan cheese, wrapped in Parma prosciutto, the softness of the Parma prosciutto.
Isn't it amazing how fast he just throws ingredients out there?
Absolutely.
I'm trying to keep track of all those ingredients. So there's not a lot, but you want to think about each of them, and they just roll off your tongue so simply.
Each one we eat every
Yeah. How is this wine to make? Is it a difficult wine to make? Is it an easier wine to make?
I think the same sort of holds true for us as does Antonio. We try to do as little to it as possible. We really want to preserve the grape variety itself. We don't want to manipulate and do too much. That being said, it's a really easy wine to make. Mind you, winemaking is not easy. Everyone go out there and try it. You know, you have a lot of vinegar on your hands. But.
Exactly, exactly. And what part of where do these grapes come from?
Comes from our Jardine Vineyard.
The Jardine Vineyard.
Right, so it's up by the airport in Paso, so it's flat, a little warmer conditions, so we really get a lot of ripeness and those tropical flavors really come out there.
And for people who are watching around the country, if they Google these places, most of these places are like roads or like hills or parts of the county that have just been, just that's what the name of the road is, so that's the name of the vineyard, so it's pretty easy to find. So let's move on to the next one.
Great,
Let's go to the four whites, because what you guys do with these next two wines are really good. Yeah, you can pour if you want me to pour for you, that's fine. I first suggested we didn't need to pour them out, but then I thought that could make the show really interesting by the end of the hour, so... the next wine from Vina Robles is called Four Whites, and what they have two wines. They have a four white and a four red, and it's as simple as the name. There are four white grapes here in this one, and the red one has four red grapes, and it's just a fantastic blend. These are what we call Rhone blends, right? Rhone whites, Rhone reds.
The red one is
depending on.
Has some Sauvignon Blanc in. So.
So it messes up the formula.
But it is four different varietals. We have Viognier, Verdelho, Vermentino, and Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
So this is really a winemaker's dream. When we get the different grapes in, we ferment them separately, and at the end, before we bottle, we sit down and we make our blends. And that's really where the artistry of the winemaker comes in. So this one in particular is 29% Viognier, 28% Verdelho, 27% Sauvignon Blanc, so all of those three are very close. And then at the end is just Vermentino, 16%.
And this is an award winner, right? This one is one that people have really lopped a lot of praise on it over the years.
Yes, it won Best of Show at the Central Coast Wine Competition for the locals 2 times in a row. One, it was overall grand champion, and it received 90 points from the Wine Enthusiast, and in the most recent edition of the Wine Spectator, it was voted as a top value of Rhone-style wines, even though it's not necessarily
even though it has the one extra in it.
It just has Viognier in it, correct. But this is really, this shows what we can do here in Paso Robles. It's very unconventional. Something like this would be actually illegal in Europe.
Is that right?
Yes, because it blends a Rhone grape with a Bordeaux grape, a Portuguese grape, and an Italian grape. So
we can't have that.
They would all be fighting.
Yeah.
Welcome to America, right, Chef? Welcome to America, right, Chef? We don't care in America. But let's back that up again, because you're right. We're talking about the four different grapes are from two from France, one's from Portugal, and one's from Italy. Are there equivalents of other types of varietals? Like Vermentino is kind of like, if I've never heard of Vermentino or Viognier, are there equivalents to those? Because sometimes Primitivo and Zinfandel, but
right.
Or not.
Well, boy, asking a winemaker, each one is like, your child. They're all very different. You wouldn't compare them.
Right.
I guess you could say the Verdelho and the Vermentino are similar. The Sauvignon Blanc is somewhat similar, but has a little more fresh acidity to it. Okay. And the Viognier is just really floral.
Right. Okay. Well, we're looking at this. I mean, we're looking at the clarity of it is just fantastic. And tell us a little bit about, the aging process here. Are these kind of wines the kind of wines that sit around a while, or these are fresh to drink right away kind of wines?
These are made to drink right away. This is as well 2010. We really, the goal as a winemaker is to make your wines different. So with the White 4, we age it in neutral barrels. So a neutral barrel is something that is 3 to 5 years old.
Okay.
So you're not going to get any oak influence, but you're going to get a little bit of ageability. As I described before, the oxygen coming through the barrels a little bit. So it just opens up the wines, makes them a little softer, gives them a little more weight in the mouth.
And what kinds of things would you suggest we pair this wine with right here?
I will go with the prosciutto arrotini.
This piece that the prosciutto.
Yes, the prosciutto and the arugula and the radicchio and what it come together with the wine for me is the shaved Parmesan cheese in there.
Okay.
You know, and shaved Parmesan cheese and the prosciutto and a little bit of the bitter lettuce is fantastic. This lettuce is tossed only with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, so there is no vinegar in it or like that. So. I think this 4 wine will go very well with that.
Yeah,
it's very food friendly, and it'll work with your agnolotti, any
Yes.
white sauce pasta, seafood, of course.
Yeah, bravo.
And
The
white
linguine.
meats. We've even paired it with hot wings before.
Really?
So, works as well.
Yeah,
so
you're
very,
right.
very food friendly.
Yeah, like you say, the pasta, like the linguine pasta with like some clams, some mussel, even some leeks like we do up here in Paso. Will go very well with this wine. Yes.
Keilah, what are you picking out of this wine here? What is this? Are you involved at the restaurant with the pairings? And
we do, yes. Alex from Paso and myself, we work on the pairings for our monthly menu. We do a 3 for 30, 3 courses for $30, paired with a half glass of wine. And so, yes, we work together, and we try to do local as much as possible, and yeah, this is phenomenal. This is a great drinkability is always nice too, just by itself, and then with food even more so. So
and those are kind of the things you're looking for.
Because a lot of people want to have a little bit of their wine before their meal even arrives, and so if you're giving them something huge that's just meant for food, it doesn't quite work that way. So our staff, we have wine education every month and go through different varietals and try to get our staff up to date and know what we're serving, especially Italian wines are a whole different ballgame for me.
Exactly.
I'm learning.
And you suggest, and we do this at wineries all the time, we start with the lighter wines into the spectrum and then work our way down. And the reason is like she said, if it's a big, bold red, you start there, you're going to blow everything up before, and there is something to be said for that, right?
Absolutely. It carries on in your mouth, the flavors. So if you start with the bigger one, the next one will automatically taste a little bigger, even though it might not be in reality.
Excellent.